Good day and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. Thank you for joining me this week on this very rainy day. We've been having a lot of tropical moisture and getting several inches of rain over this last week. Of course, none of this is a surprise with the planets affecting the Houston chart. I hope it's safe and dry where you are. This week we don't have any very long void of course moons, so we all can be more productive. The sun does enter Libra on the 22nd, and that is the autumnal equinox, or the first day of fall. And the new moon on the 24th really kicks that fall festival time off. Sunday and Monday are both emotionally intense days. Make sure you have time for yourself on these days. And if you would like to get in touch with me, you can always reach me at LillyRoddyShow@AOL.com or LillyRoddyShow.com, and always find us on Twitter, Facebook, or Pinterest. And make sure you look for the Lilly Roddy Show, not just my personal account. You're welcome to join me on my personal account. Well, let's get started on the forecast for Sunday, September the 21st through Saturday, September the 27th, 2014. Sunday, September the 21st. Today has been designated as the International Day of Peace. I'm not really sure why that's true. It was just on my calendar. The moon begins the day, void of course, in warm-hearted Leo. However, she will enter service-oriented Virgo at 10:54 a.m. Plan your important activities after that time. Our first aspect in the morning, Venus sextiles Saturn at 8:03 a.m. This combination of planets allows us to safely and accurately survey our resources and skills and make best use of those resources. This is a good energy for resolving conflicts, dealing with a partnership crisis, and/or finalizing deals with clients. We are motivated to work hard today and to get things done. And the best of all, this aspect is in effect all day. The moon enters Virgo at 10:54 a.m., and we are no longer void of course. We definitely feel more grounded and more practical with the moon entering Virgo. Our first aspect of the day, which occurs in the evening, is the moon squares Mars at 10:05 p.m. That's the first moon aspect, at 10:05 p.m. With this aspect, we are normally very emotionally expressive, and sometimes this can be over the top. This energy can cause us to feel defensive or to attack someone else. And in combination with the next two aspects taking place within 35 minutes of each other, we are likely to be especially edgy. It's a great time to do Tai Chi or yoga or go to the gym for a workout. The moon opposes Neptune at 10:08 p.m., just 3 minutes later. With this aspect following up so quickly, our emotional state is extra sensitive. Normally, this aspect requires us to retreat and find a quiet place to get away from it all. In addition, this would be a good aspect for sleeping, but combined with the Moon-Mars combination from above, we're much more likely to be very agitated and awake. Mars squares Neptune at 10:40 p.m. Mars and Neptune are not the best of pals. Mars is a much more assertive, direct, and action-oriented energy, and Neptune is much more about our spiritual pilgrimage, our need to retreat, and to find our connection to our spiritual center. Since this aspect will be in effect all day, we're not likely to push ourselves to do things that we don't want to do. And this aspect will make the most of the day a good day for a mental health day, meaning it's a good day to take off. As a side note, this is an aspect, this Mars square Neptune, that the USA has in her natal chart. This could result in the USA taking much more dramatic actions, since this will make us feel threatened as a country. This is my prescription. Spend your time with people that you really like and really enjoy being with, especially on a spiritual level. Otherwise, turn off your phone and let's worry about things tomorrow. I think someone else said that in a movie. Monday, September the 22nd. The moon transits Virgo, the sign of health and hygiene, all day. Our first aspect, the moon trines Pluto at 9:03 a.m. We may have a slow start this morning due to the hangover of the Mars-Neptune aspect from yesterday. However, this is still a good morning. We should be able to get a lot done as long as we take our time and do not get frustrated with the delays. In the evening, Pluto turns stationary direct in Capricorn at 7:34 p.m. Pluto, planet of death, rebirth, transformation, and the cosmic enema, is turning stationary direct. This happens every year at about this time. Pluto churns up our deepest parts, and as she sits there waiting to go into direct motion, she has a lot of time to dig even deeper. This energy can generate a lot of fear or make people turn inward, causing enlightenment. Of course, with some depression. Pluto is back up to speed toward the latter part of October. Pluto is a cycle that we all live through and helps to sort of rid us of things we have outgrown and no longer serve a function for us. And finally, the Sun enters Libra at 9:29 p.m. This is the autumnal equinox, the first day of fall. This is one of the 2 times of the year when the amount of daylight hours and night hours are equal. As the Sun moves through Libra for approximately the next 30 days, we are focused on working on improving relationships both internationally and personally. Tuesday, September the 23rd. The moon travels through meticulous Virgo as our day begins. However, she will become void of course in Virgo at 7:15 a.m. and remain so until late in the evening when she moves into diplomatic and urbane Libra at 10:59 p.m. Get your errands done early this morning. Our first aspect very early in the morning, the moon sextiles Saturn at 2:41 a.m. If you're up late, it's a good time for any sort of work, research, writing, or just completing a task. A little later in the morning, the moon conjuncts Venus at 7:15 a.m. We feel good about the morning, but we're not in a big hurry to deal with stress or difficulty. Slow down and enjoy the morning if you can. The moon is now void of course in Virgo at 7:15 a.m. until she enters Libra, the sign of the peacekeeper, at 10:59 p.m. During this void of course time frame, work on the projects that you currently have in front of you and don't start anything new. Wednesday, September the 24th. The moon resides in artsy and creative Libra all day. The moon conjuncts the sun at 1:14 a.m. This is the new moon in Libra. The new moon brings light to new ways of resolving relationship issues and brings the energy to start a brand new relationship. The effects of the new moon last until the effects of the full moon, which occur in approximately 14 days. In the afternoon, the moon sextiles Mars at 1:30 p.m. During the afternoon, we're feeling upbeat and ready to get things done. It's a good afternoon to contact clients or to take care of personal errands. We are feeling positive and confident. And later in the evening, the moon squares Pluto at 8:39 p.m. In the latter part of the evening, we'll be assessing our day and the effectiveness of our efforts. Old relationship issues are likely to resurface this evening. This could be a great time for therapy, out with the bad air and in with the good air. On a personal level, this is always a good time to clean out your emotional baggage. Thursday, September the 25th. Happy Rosh Hashanah. It begins today, the Day of Atonement. The moon occupies Libra, the sign that seeks balance in life, for the entire day. The moon sextiles Jupiter at 4:21 a.m. With this energy, it's a time to get up early this morning so that you can get out and get your day started. Although this occurs very early in the morning, it's still a great time for most any activity. Just a little bit later, the moon opposes Uranus at 4:30 a.m. When combined with the previous aspect, this is likely to make our sleep a lot less restful. Our energy levels are strong and potentially erratic. You are not in the mood to do anything that you don't want to do. In the early afternoon, Jupiter trines Uranus at 1:17 p.m. With this aspect in effect for about a week, we all seem to have the ability to see the bigger picture and how things affect our lives, both on a global and on a personal level. These are great energies for creating inventions, finding resolutions to problems that seem insurmountable, and finding a way to be more compassionate with the rest of the people on this planet. We seek a greater sense of justice, and on a personal level, we have more energy and are able to let a smile be our umbrella despite the weather, with this really nice Jupiter trine Uranus aspect. Friday, September the 26th. The moon journeys through charming Libra as our day begins. However, she will become void of course in Libra at 7:39 a.m. until she moves into powerful and passionate Scorpio at 9:29 a.m. This is a brief void of course moon time frame, and you should wait until the moon enters Scorpio to really start any new task. In the evening, the moon conjuncts Mercury at 7:39 a.m. That should be in the morning. The moon conjuncts Mercury at 7:39 a.m. This aspect should get us up early in the morning. These are great energies for planning, finding solutions to problems, or just enjoying a morning coffee with your coworkers. A little bit later in the morning, the moon enters Scorpio at 9:29 a.m. and is no longer void of course. When the moon enters Scorpio, we are more determined than usual to see our actions carried through to completion. And finally, in the evening, the moon trines Neptune at 7:54 p.m. The early evening is a good time to get away from the stresses and strains of our daily life. This is a great time to escape to a movie, to go to the beach, or to make some quiet time for meditation. We will all be a bit more laid back this evening. Saturday, September the 27th. The moon spends the entire day in Scorpio, the sign of death and rebirth. Early in the morning, the moon sextiles Pluto at 6:25 a.m. If you're awake, your morning thoughts are deep and emotionally provoking. Our concerns are about our emotional state and the security of our family. It's a very good time for finding solutions to those problems. In the afternoon, the moon squares Jupiter at 2:39 p.m. With this aspect, our afternoon may seem a lot more hectic and a bit out of control. This is a good aspect for having fun and not taking life too seriously. This can be a good afternoon for a family get-together or taking a spur-of-the-moment trip. Mercury, planet of travel and siblings, enters Scorpio at 5:39 p.m. and will remain there for approximately the next 13 days until she retrogrades back into Libra. Yes, Mercury retrograde is approaching. We will feel the effects of Mercury retrograde from September the 28th through October the 30th. As with all Mercury retrogrades, we should focus on taking care of the task that we have put off or not completed over the last 3 months. Mercury retrograde is never a good time to start a new project. When Mercury retrograde initially in Scorpio, then Mercury retrograding back into Libra, let me say that so it'll be clear. Mercury initially starts her retrograde in Scorpio and then retrogrades back into Libra. We'll have time to look at our personal sense of resources, intimacy, and the deeper meanings of commitment during this Mercury retrograde period. I'll talk more about that as we get closer. And finally, in the evening, the moon conjuncts Saturn at 11:46 p.m. Our mood may be low to flat this evening with this combination of planets. Usually with this combination, we tend to be a bit depressed and melancholy. Try not to be overly judgmental with yourself. And of course, this is not the best note to end our week on, but there you are. Saturn always shines the light of realism so we know what actions are best to take. That's why she's so hard, because it's the best even if we don't want to. Well, I just want to thank you for joining me this week. And of course, please join me next week as we look at September the 28th through October the 4th, 2014. And if you haven't, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get an email notice of when my weekly forecast comes out. This is the Lilly Roddy Show coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas, reminding you to keep those stars in your eyes. Bye-bye.